Okay, so this is going to be the love reading for the sign that I select from this pile of cards here. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I have 4 signs left in this love relationship series that I'm doing. So if you are inclined to watch any of the other videos, they're already posted on the channel. Go over, take a look. If you gained any perspective or insights from today's reading, please like the video. I would really appreciate it. And also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you there. All right, so let's see who's coming through today. Okay, there's hesitation, but I'm still going with it. All right, so we have Cancer. So we are welcoming in the energy of Cancer. Welcome all Cancer placements. If you're cross-watching for a Cancer, welcome to the reading. All right, so let's get started and see what comes through for the sign of Cancer today. There's some hesitation. We already felt that. So, let's see what that's about. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. What is your current energy as it relates to love and relationship at this time, please? What is coming through for the Cancer group that I am reading for today? All right, let's get into it. Let's see what's coming through for the Cancer group. Personal energy as it relates to love and relationship at this time for the Cancer, please. You are distant. You are going away. Okay, so you have the King of Pentacles. So I don't know if, well, we'll see what the cards say, but I was going to say, I don't know if love is on the mind right now. Seems like you are working on your life, on your money, on your stability. 2 of Wands. So there is, geez. Okay. Interesting. So you have a King of Pentacles in your personal energy as well as an Emperor. If I were to put these two cards together, I would say that you are super, super strong and super powerful right now. Like in complete control of your life and of yourself. It's like, I know my worth. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. There's no hesitation. There's no second guessing. There's no doubt. I'm going for it. But there is a choice at the same time. For some of you, just because there's 2 sort of like individuals coming through with the choice card right in the middle of them, for some of you, there's a feeling that you need to make a choice between a King of Pentacles type of person and an Emperor type of person, which they are very similar. And I don't know if that's like 2 people in your environment, like 2 options, 2 love options that you have, or this could be like you being one of them and another being one of them, right? Like choosing yourself over another at the same time. I would still say, just because they're both here, that you are still coming off pretty strong, pretty in control of your life, like complete sovereignty, complete authority over oneself and everything that you're doing. Intuitively, I feel that there is a push and pull here. I feel that someone is like sitting and waiting, knowing that they are worth it. There's a lot of worth coming through and value coming through. Like, not lack of it, but a lot of it. Like someone like definitely like, this is who I am. I like, you know, like I know what I bring to the table. I know what I'm about. I know myself, you know, complete self-awareness, all that good stuff. But there's a push and pull between like someone who is sitting in their worth, sitting on their throne, I guess, in a sense. And it's like receptive and waiting to receive, versus another energy who is waiting, or not waiting, but like actually doing something about it and fighting for this or wanting to go toward it. So one person is receptive and waiting for it. The other person is like, I am doing it. I am going to make the effort. Okay, so if there are two people like this in your environment and you have to make a choice, those are the two different types of people. One is waiting on you, the other one is coming for you. And then, that can play out however it fits to your situation. Again, you can be one or the other at the same time. But because they're so similar, it's like not a lot for me to distinguish and separate, I would say one is more practical, material-based, money-based, working hard for what I got, like building my, everything I've got, I've done it on my own, like, smart as it relates to business or making decisions. Like they have that type of mentality where they are investing. Everything is an investment to them. Whereas the other person has created an empire for themselves. So they also have their own life, that they've worked for. But they're more passionate and they're more fiery. They're more assertive and action oriented. They value energy. They value action. They value like what they see being done. I'm going to show you my interest, right, by my actions, and vice versa. Like they expect you to show your interest by your actions, but there's also this choice here. Yep. Very clear cut. There's a choice. Cancer has to make a choice. Or Cancer does not have to, but the opportunity is there. So let's see what's up with the person. Cancer's person, please. Where do they stand as it relates to love and relationship at this time? Again, this could also be the same person, and you have to make a choice, like I said, like to be with them or not, basically. And then also, for the sake of the reading, to make it easier for me, I'm going to call this side Cancer and this side Cancer's person, okay? What is the personal energy for Cancer's person, please, as it relates to love and relationship at this time? It's a little bit hard to shuffle their cards on their side. They are yelling change. The way that card just flew out. They want change, or they're coming into your life to change it. This person, it's like maybe that's the part of the choice, right? Like that if you choose to be with this person, your life will change in some way. The 9 of Cups. So whatever this is, they feel like this is their dream, their wish come true, their sort of ideal type of connection. They recently have been through, and here's the Queen of Cups, so this is the Cancer card on their side. So they recently have been through some sort of heartbreak or heartache, some sort of loss. I don't know if you make them feel good, because it's like when someone is sort of down and out, or they feel like they have been just in a not so positive energy. I don't know what happened exactly. It could be anything, but For some reason, they're coming from a place of sadness. They're coming from a place of loss. And they want to get out of that. They want change. And if you and them are already like interacting, they probably, you probably make them feel good, right? Like you probably are their saving grace in a way, or their knight in shining armor, or something like that, male or female, right? Like someone to come and just make them feel better. So to get them out of this Five of Cups energy. There was some loneliness. Maybe your person is still going through that and they're wishing, because the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. So they're wishing for change. If you two are together and you're in a relationship, there may have recently been like a fight or something that, you know, maybe hurt their feelings, or the both of you have been hurt in some way, and they want that to change. They want to get back to the love. And to feel loved. If you're not together and you're just talking, something like that, they do see you as someone that is making them feel good and getting them out of this sadness, this darkness, this loneliness. It does seem as though they were like down in the depths at one point. And again, they could be down in the depths now as well, because this is their personal energy right now. And they're wanting change. They're wanting something to come and save them, right? So it's like this person is in the water sinking, okay? Right? So get that image. They're in the water sinking. So they want someone to come with the boat and save them and bring them out of the water. Get it? Okay. So that's a good visual. But yeah, something that'll help with the change and to get them out of this lonely, sad, dark experience that they were having. Okay, so let's see how Cancer feels about this person and the relationship dynamic or their connection. How does this Cancer feel about their person and about the connection that they have with their person? Five of Swords. Jeez. Nine of Wands. All right, Cancer. So I'm starting to feel that the Emperor and the King of Pentacles is you. Because you feel that there's a lot of toxicity within this relationship. Someone is bringing forth some low-level behaviors. Therefore, you are protecting yourself and you're putting your guard up. This is how you feel. This is how they make you feel, right? Like how you feel about the dynamic, how you feel about the person. So they may have recently done something. Maybe that's why they have gone into this like deep, sense of loss. Because they are not being true. They're not being honest. They're not coming from a good place. There's probably some pride going on as well. The Emperor at their lowest vibration would be somebody that is too prideful and a little too selfish. But even if the Emperor was prideful and selfish, they shouldn't be playing the games, because they should be more mature than that, right? Like the Emperor trumps the kings, all the kings in the deck, right? Like they should be at a higher level as it relates to their behaviors and how they act and come across and take control of situations or themselves. But yeah, someone had some hurt feelings. Someone came off really sharp. Maybe there was some sharp words, some words that hit right to the heart. I know that Cancer can be that way as well if they are provoked. So I don't know if you did this or them, but there is like a blockage. There is a sense of having your guard up and being in a defensive mode. Those are pretty harsh cards when they come out together. All right, so we'll get more of this story. Let's go into how does your person feel about you and the relationship and the connection that they have with you. Okay. Oh, they're yelling. They keep yelling. Let's see. High Priestess. They see you as a High Priestess, someone who can see through them. Someone who sees through the situation. I feel like, intuitively, I feel like this person tried to come at you a certain way. Maybe they were putting on a mask and a front and coming in a way that wasn't really authentic to them. And you saw that. And maybe you made them aware in some way that you noticed it. And therefore, you have your guard up. So maybe it wasn't necessarily like an actual argument, but like I said, maybe it was just hiding authenticity. You noticing that they're coming, that behavior, even if it's not aggressive, is toxic for you, right? And what you're willing to accept in your environment, in your space, in your life. And so therefore you put up your guard. Because the High Priestess is here, and the High Priestess is like intuition and seeing through situations to the truth of the situation. Ooh, there was that Seven of Swords. Forget it. Someone's really toxic. Someone is not true at all, like as far as like who they are. Six of Swords. So this person sees you as moving away, like you're getting away from them. Here's the boat again. Yeah, so before the Six of Swords is the Five of Swords, right? So they see you as needing to get away from the toxicity. Maybe that's why they feel that sense of loss. But they do want change. Maybe they don't want to feel like that. They don't want to be like that. Maybe they want you to like cure them or save them, or it's like they're coming off with a mask and they're putting on a front and you see right through it, but they don't want to be like that. Like they're hoping that something happens that helps them change, because underneath that mask there is love. With this treasure chest here of cups that represent emotion and love. So underneath it, there is feeling, there's emotion, there's authenticity, there's, you know, a higher vibration with all those cups there. And for some reason, like they want something to come through that will help them not be this way anymore. And if that's not the case, there is like, they're still putting on the mask, and under the mask, when you have a mask, obviously there's something under it, right? Like that's why you have the mask on to begin with, to hide something. So regardless if they want to be saved or they want an opportunity to show who they really are, regardless if they want that or not, the idea that there is still something underneath that mask is there, right? Like that is still true, regardless if they want to show it or not. And it does seem as though there is feeling, there is care, there is love, there is emotion. They just don't know how to express. What does Cancer want from this relationship? The Seven of Wands. You just want the bullshit to be over, basically. Like, you're defending yourself either way. Like, there's like, the choice has already been made, I guess. Like, with that Two of Wands up here, making a choice. Like, you are defending yourself. You're putting up your walls. The Seven of Wands is like when you have a lot coming at you. And you need to overcome something. You need to overcome a high energy, a high peak of like a circumstance that has a lot to it, a lot going on. Like, you feel like you are fighting a battle in this relationship. And you don't want to do that, obviously, right? What does the person want from their relationship? For some of you, I'm also hearing that you want them to fight for you as well. That Emperor coming through here. You're just like keeping an eye on it. Like making sure there's no threats, making sure that no one's going to come in and disturb your peace or shake you up, you know. Like, you're gonna approach me, you know, make sure that you're coming at me with your truth, right? Like, show me who you are type of thing as you come toward me. If not, don't even come at me at all type of thing. Like the way she looks here. It's like, are you sure you want to talk to me? Are you sure? Because if you come this way with the fakeness and the toxicity and all of that stuff, like, watch what you say, right? Like, at any moment, the Cancer can just be like triggering, you know, like they will get triggered by it if you come across that way from the get-go, and then they're just not going to give you the time of day. Like, the Cancer is gonna, like, the way it's feeling here, it's like they're watching the other person come through, and it's like, are you sure you want to say this? Are you sure you want to talk? You know, and based off of what you say will determine whether or not the Cancer is going to drop their walls or keep them up still. And it'll also determine whether or not the Cancer is going to need to defend themselves and need to speak and say their piece and need to, you know, I guess, I don't know, I'm like put the person in their place, right? I don't know, it just, I mean, if it's already feeling like this, I don't know. Like, for the Cancer who is opting to give this another chance or to give this a try, yes, you still have your guard up, but like, for some reason they're still coming up in the reading, right? Like, for some reason they're still in your energy, which tells me that maybe you are treading lightly but not completely done, right? That's where the choice comes through. But I mean, it's not the funnest energy. It's not the funnest relationship. You know, I understand if maybe you're like in a complete like commitment and you've been together for a long time and there's an argument that had happened and maybe there's some distance and there's some toxicity. Okay, it's a little bit hard to be like, okay, I'm just going to leave it. This is not fun anymore. I'm going to leave it. And yeah, so there's probably some arguing and, you know, whatever. But it's not as easy to leave compared to the ones where maybe this is not a serious committed relationship. What is it that is holding you on? Well, I guess we'll see that, right? But, you know, like, what is it about this relationship or this connection that still has them in your energy that it's strong enough to come up in a reading? Is it the passion? The Knight of Wands, that's what they want from this relationship, is passion. Maybe they don't want anything serious. And with the High Priestess, when you have a High Priestess type of energy, right? Someone who is in tune with their intuition and their higher selves, and they see through people, and they're a little psychic and clairvoyant, like all that stuff. And then you pair them up with a Knight of Wands, or someone who wants a Knight of Wands like relationship, which is just flighty, passionate, very sexual, but nothing committed. Yeah, there's gonna be like one person, the clairvoyant, the high priestess, is like going to see through, right? Like they can't help it. They can't help but see through the facade, you know, that this type of person brings to the table. And for this type of person, that's just like too much to handle. Like they don't want to feel like they're constantly being read, like they're constantly being judged, or, you know, they don't want to be around people who pick up on their toxic, manipulative behaviors, right? Like they don't want to be around people who know that they're putting up a front and they're not being real. So therefore, it's like two energies, two types of people that do not have anything, like they're not compatible, you know? You can't put a high priestess and a Knight of Wands together. Like that just doesn't happen. So, I mean, I don't know. Like the Cancer is just using their intuition and knowing that, you know, this person is probably not for them. Okay, what is keeping these two people together, please? And this person may also be the one moving away with this Six of Swords because of the High Priestess energy. Sorry, excuse me. What is bridging? What is the bridge? What is keeping these two together? Here's the Emperor. Ooh, there's a Two of Cups at the bottom. Control and authority is keeping these two together in some way. Maybe some power plays. Let's get more info on this. So the Emperor is, I mean, it really speaks for itself, right? Like it's the divine masculine, it's the strength, it's the power, it's the authority, the control, the person that is high in the ranks and oversees everything. The Emperor is the type of person that has mastered every king, right? Like the King of Pentacles, he has that down. The King of Wands, he has that down, right? King of Cups, King of Swords, like he is the personification of the divine masculine at the Emperor's highest, right, vibration, where he is all of these things in one. Maybe there's a sense of safety as well. I'm feeling that. Like for some reason, the both of you feel safe in this relationship. Like, is that what is keeping you together? There needs to be some sort of radical change to be on the same page, to be friendly, to be friends again. Maybe y'all see potential in one another. You see potential in the relationship for it to be a higher status, a higher type of relationship. But something has to crumble, okay? Something has to, like the guards have to drop, the masks have to drop. There has to be a sense of we have each other's back. We have things, like remember what you have in common. See each other as like separate individuals and accept one another, you know, as human beings, and celebrate one another. Like you know, maybe it's just too serious or something, and it's just like no one's having fun. And I was saying, like, this is not the funnest energy. It's not the funnest relationship, you know. What else for the relationship dynamics, please? It's like let loose. Let loose. Show up as yourselves. No need to be defensive. No need to hide who you are. Have more control and authority over your life. Like, show your power, you know, for yourself, you know, not necessarily like power over another, but like what makes you strong, what makes you authentic, what makes you powerful, what makes you you. And then like coming together and accepting and celebrating one another. I don't know if this dynamic is like friends, or you started off as friends. Maybe you started off as friends, became lovers, and then it just got too weird. There's potential. I did say potential. I don't want to lead anyone on either, because if this toxicity is too bad, and if it's like borderline abusive or something like that, like, I'm not saying that there's potential for that type of person to change. If you're with a narcissist, you're with the narcissist. Like, you got to accept it and leave it. There's no changing that shit. But it's not like that. And it's just two people who are coming from a place where they are exhibiting behaviors from maybe previous relationships or baggage, you know, that they're coming forth with, or something like projections, stuff like that. Then okay, like maybe there's potential if you drop your guards and drop your masks and work on it, you know. Like, why are you super duper defensive, you know? Like, why do you see everything as a toxic behavior? Why do you have your mask on? And like, why are you hiding your true self, right? Like, where is all this coming from? Why are you distracting from like doing some deep work here and just like being flighty and not serious? You know, like people that don't take, that are not deep, people that don't take like their internal work serious, they're hiding something. Like, they're running from something, right? They're running from themselves. They don't want to they can't handle seeing the truth about themselves and about their trauma or their pain. They don't want to feel the pain, right? And so they distract, and they do other things that, you know, are fun in their minds, or there's a little self-destructive, like risk-taking, or, you know, just like too much fire energy there. And over here, it's like you're coming from a place of being hurt, probably, because of it. There's defense mechanisms happening here, and, you know, you're on the defensive. You're looking for toxic behaviors, like, every which way you turn. And not to say that this person didn't act out. Maybe they did, right? But I'm just saying, if you're the type of person that is too defensive because everything that you see from another person represents a toxic behavior, that's a projection about you and where you're coming from. That's no judgment. We all have it. The only reason why I talk like this is because I do this, right? Like, I have this type of experience that I have to continuously heal. The healing process and the development process, the soul ascension process in this lifetime never ends. We are never completely healed. Like, you can't say that you're healed ever. There's always something that you're learning. There's always a lesson to go through. There's always some sort of trauma that bubbles back up, right? It's just being aware of it and having the tools, you know, off of experience to handle it and overcome it. But being aware of it is the most important part. When you are aware, you know, and you can't unknow, right? That you are behaving a certain way. So therefore, you can't run from it. You can't always have your guard up. Like, there's work to be done. And this is not even like with one another. This is work like individually. in the foundation here, there's potential to create something and to end some sort of cycle that you probably have, and you've probably already started to notice about one another. I still don't feel that this is like too heavy of a relationship. If any of you are in a long-term committed relationship, then yes, you're still going through some healing work and all of that stuff with your partner. I think this applies to whether you're in a long-term relationship or you're just getting to know someone, actually. Because cycles, if you're in a long-term relationship, this is probably something that happens a lot, therefore cycles have to break. And if you're not in a long-term relationship and you're just getting to know this person or just dating or whatever, these cycles here with the World card have to do with the both of you individually, like behaving a certain way that you probably always come with, you know? And so there's potential to alchemize a change with these two people together. If you get on the same page and you drop the masks and you drop the guard and you see each other for who you are, with including your flaws, right? Like, there is something to be said about seeing a human being accept and show up in their quote unquote what they perceive to be their flaws, right? Because it shows that they're human. You can relate more with this type of person that doesn't come across perfect, right? Like, when people come across perfect and they never show the other sides of them, it's like a little intimidating, or it's like you cannot connect. There's no personable connection there. Like, drop the guards, drop the mask, show up in your flaws, so that way you can see one another in your pure self and be like, hey, I am just as flawed as you are. Like, you know, like there's no pressure, right? Like, I accept you, you accept me this way. Like, we can be cool, we can be real, you know, no matter what happens, we can show up and be real. And I think that's the most important part, right? Especially if you're trying to create a relationship. Can't do that can't create a good relationship. Like, the red flags will show up later, you know? If you're not coming through authentically, both sides, you know, you already see the red flags happening. Like, it's gonna crumble later anyway. But yeah, I mean, this is really strong, that energy of like breaking down the cycle, the mask, breaking down the walls and showing up authentically so you can accept one another. And if you're still interested and this still means something to you, there is potential to alchemize it, as long as you break some habits, pretty much. Is there anything that I need to see or want more info on? I don't know. I don't feel it. Like, I feel like I can go deeper, but at the same time, it's pretty clear. Let's just get some final cards for you. Let's get a few final cards for the Cancer and a few final cards for their person. Ten of Pentacles. Okay. That's everything. Ten of Pentacles is when you have the life. You have everything you want in life. You have reached the peak point of your goals. It's legacy. It's family. It's stability, security. It's like solid foundation. And maybe that's what Cancer is wanting. That type of relationship, or like commitment, like the real thing. What is for their person? Two of Swords. This side over here is undecided and in their head, basically. They're conflicted. This side over here is conflicted about something. Ooh, another two. Yeah, they're back and forth. That's why that maze in their brain, right? It's like they can't get out of their head. They're back and forth. There's no stability with this side right now. This side seems more stable and wants stability as well. Hanged Man, you guys are probably not talking. Ooh, the Devil, jeez. Yeah, 2 of Cups at the bottom. Oh my God. It's like back and forth. Like, it's like no, but yes, no, but yes. Like that push and pull that I was talking about from the beginning. Oh, goodness. The Devil and the Hanged Man. Someone gets off on... Someone gets a rise or gets off on doing hangman things, which is mostly internalizing things and going silent and going ghost and sort of, I don't know, like there's hidden aspects, hidden parts of people here, and we already said that, right? Like with the masks, and I think that underneath this mask there's a lot to be discovered. Therefore, that's why they hold it and they have so much control over it, because there's so much there, so much, and they perceive it to be as negative. They perceive it to be as, you know, if people knew who I really was, they wouldn't like me. If people knew who I really was, they would be scared of me. Ooh, I'm feeling that strong. If people knew who I really was, you know, like I wouldn't be accepted, because who I really am is not what society thinks is right, or it's not what my family thinks it's right, or who I really am is dark and devilish and spooky and scary or something like that. They have these self-imposed perceptions of who they are, like their true nature. For some reason, this person on this side has this thought process that it would not be accepted, and that usually comes from a place of childhood and how they grew up, wanting to be accepted, right? And what their caregivers probably pushed on them to say, hey, this is how you're supposed to be. This is what is acceptable, you know. But their whole lives, it's like, that's not who I was. That's not who I am, like, till this day, which is super sad. Like, that's like, when I talk about freedom, and in these readings, it's like freedom from that shit. I'm not talking about freedom from external, you know, I'm talking about freedom from yourself, freedom from these traumas and, you know, personal mental constraints that we put on ourselves based off of how we grew up in our society and our environment and all that bullshit, and our inability to be ourselves and authentic and just be free in who we are and fuck what everybody else thinks, right? Like, for someone to live like that, that is not living. We are not put on this planet for 80, 90 years, however long we're here, to just hide who we really are. Like, how fucking sad is that? And I hope that whoever this is can someday, it's never too late, right? Get out of it and just show up and be yourself. But the Cancer wants something real. And unfortunately for you, Cancer, and I'm sorry to say, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, this person is not ready for that right now. They're not there yet. There's so much that they're doing right now, and I think that there's some things that you need to do as well. I understand being protective and having your guard up and all of that, and not being played with and not being messed with. But however they're coming across, I don't think it's super duper personal to you. I think they come across like that with everyone, so yeah, if you want to be open to love and all of that stuff, like, just think about what it is. Like, are your guards just a little bit too strong with that shell, that crab shell? But there's some type of potential here. Not with this person at this time. I mean, that's up to you guys. There's free will. But there's some type of potential here as it relates to, like, if the King of Pentacles, like, right, the Ten of Pentacles is what you want, making a decision between something or someone like that compared to this Emperor and this person, you know, and maybe seeing, like, with open eyes, without any filters on, the reality of the situation, the reality of this person. And just because they're an Emperor, you don't want to confuse them for the King of Pentacles, which is what you really want, right? So distinguish that, like, use your discernment around that. They can, just because an Emperor can definitely come across as the King of Pentacles, but this particular Emperor has a lot of shit, and they are conflicted, and they don't know what they want, and, you know, all this stuff. They can't show up as themselves. So at this time of life, it's probably not the best thing, but there is potential, and there's someone else in your environment because they're showing up. So you don't want to confuse the two, if that makes sense. Alrighty, well, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know. I hope you were able to get something out of this message. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I hope to see you on the next reading. Check out your rising sign, your moon sign, your partner sign, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.